Good morning, everyone. It's your boy Retro. It's 2:40 in the fucking morning. I'm up, like always, like normal. And my right foot is fucked up, man. I can barely walk. Shit's terrible. What's up, girl? Baby girl. She must be hungry. We're up early, huh, girl? She just got up. I gave her a bath. She took a bath with me. She didn't piss herself this time, but I didn't put her in the water this time. I sat in the bathtub in there for a while I let the hot water run. And then she was by the tub just laying there waiting for me to get out, and I snatched her up and I held her under the hot water and just wiped out her nose, all the gook out of her nose and stuff and mouth. Which her nose is runny again. She's still sick, and I fucking have a sty, and this eye is swollen as well. Fucking stupid, man. I haven't had one of these in a while. It's been over a year. Sometimes I get them really bad, like it'll happen like periodically, but I haven't had one in a while. It's definitely been over a year since I had one, and now not only do I have one in this eye, I have one in this eye as well. And I'm pretty sure it's from the kitty. I'm not used to having an animal in the house, and it's, it's not exactly the cleanest thing to have around. But I did save her, and I do want a kitty, so I've been lonely. What's that, baby girl? I love this cat, man. Yeah. Let's get you some food. We gotta feed her. Come on. Let's get you some food, cat. I want to give you the rest of this food before it goes bad. I only have the rest of this can for her. I need to eat myself and start waking up, man. I've been up for about 40 minutes. I got up at 2. I woke right up, just out of a dead sleep. I was out. I was dreaming and everything, but I kept waking up though. It's because I had the heat. I had the heat on tonight. My little fucking heater. And it was too hot, but I was too lazy to get up because I fucking walked that 40 miles. I'm hit. I got home, I ended up smashing the rest of the fucking Fruit Loops, and I actually ate 1.5 peanut butter sandwiches. I didn't eat the other half. I have to go get it. It's in the bedroom. I gotta throw it out. I couldn't eat it. I couldn't. I was too full. That's how exhausted I was. I couldn't even move. I already ate one of those. I thought I was still hungry, which, I kind of was. I ate half of it. Which I can throw that outside, actually. I went through it straight in the trash and throw it out the window. I'll be right back. This shit hurts, dude. I'm limping like a motherfucker today. It's gonna be a rough day. I'm definitely not. It's gonna take at least 2 days for this stupid ass scab to heal, for sure. And I just turned up the radio too much. It's been going off all morning. Like, I'm pretty sure they were talking about somebody just robbing a 7-Eleven or something. Bitch. It's so loud, like above 10. If you go 11, 12, it's too loud. I want to smoke, but I'm excited to smoke that Sensi Star. Oh, here's my stars at night. I never really showed you guys the stars at night. This thing's so cool. It's just a laser pointer, but the tip of it spins, and it's a USB laser pointer, so it just plugs into any USB. I like it. I always mess with it. It's pretty cool in the car too when you put it in the car and you have it on the headliner and shit. When it's late at night and you're driving, it's pretty dope. It's because you get a better, it's closer to you. And I'm hungry and I know this milk's probably gonna go bad. I have just enough for some milk, cereal. We're good. I got a banana. We're good to go. I'm excited. Oh, shoot. So, I'm gonna make some coffee, which I have just enough to make coffee, really. Which I'm thankful I left the grinds in from before. I'm about to just put this on top from yesterday. It's good. I didn't double run this one yet, so we're good. Which I'm about to start working on the truck today. Some guy messaged me last night about my transmission. I had a shit day yesterday. It wasn't like a shit day. I had a great day. Just the news that I heard. You know what I mean? And then just I don't know, it was really hard on my body yesterday. I pushed myself, you know what I mean? And I left the house without stuff on purpose because I know that if I leave with a bunch of shit and leave with a bunch of money and whatnot, I'll overeat, and I'm trying to fast on purpose, you know what I mean? So it's my way of forcing myself to fast. You get what I'm saying? Because once I walk 15 miles out, I don't have nothing. Nobody's gonna stop on the side of the road and give me a ride. You know what I mean? I'm stuck riding home for the most part. And I spent all the money on purpose at the dispensary, so I wouldn't be able to eat. I brought just enough water, which I barely brought that. I did it on purpose, but my body, like, I overdid a little bit, That's all. That's why I slept for 7 hours. I never sleep that long unless I'm sick or I'm exhausted like this. I could have still slept, but I knew better. My back would have been starting to hurt. And then if I sleep too long, if I sleep that 48 hours, my head, I'm fucked up the rest of the day. I don't know what it is. I just can't do it. It's like if it's just like sleeping too much, I guess. Can't do it. Thank you, Lord, for this food, man. Yes, bless the people that have made this food. It's got to be it's not the greatest job, I'm sure, making shredded wheat, those people are, regular people, everyday people, factory workers. I'm sure they go through some bullshit working there, But they sure make good cereal, and it's name brand, which has a touch of cinnamon in it. You can taste it in the shredded wheat. Go grab the Bible. I wanted to get to reading. Pretty sure I had bottled water. Or did I drink it all? That's better. Bottled water for your coffee is so much better than tap water. Because even if you boil it through that fucking... Even if you boil it, it still doesn't taste the same. There's bad static going on tonight. It's gotta be the storm. I'm about to turn off the radio, turn it back on. I don't know why, but I've been having a lot of thoughts about the Bermuda Triangle lately. I'm a little worried about sailing through there. It's surprising how many people come up missing in that area. It surprises me. Which, the Bermuda Triangle also has one of the most UFO spottings, which aliens are real. Angels are real. Aliens. We can call it many different things. That's another reason why I'm heading to Florida. I'm hoping to see something like that, catch it on footage. The people I've been speaking with on the internet, the people that I have spoken with, the people that I have met over the years, I've actually met some of these people. And the people that told me this stuff, their character and who they are, there's nothing to gain from them for them to lie to me, or be lying, period, and telling everybody what it is that they've seen. So that's another reason why I want to go out to the Bermuda Triangle, go out to the Gulf of Mexico. There's many constellations that you can't see in the northern hemisphere that you can see in the southern hemisphere, which one of them interests me more than the other one, which is my constellation, which is the constellation my last name is named after. Because everybody has names and meanings, And I know my mom went through a lot of stuff like that, and that family did take me in, the last name that I have, which, has a lot of meaning if you think about it. And that tells you how much of a heart they have, Even though they don't believe in Jesus, even though I thought it's funny, they go to church and they get buried, everybody gets buried at a cemetery and the church runs it, but they don't believe in Jesus. It just cracks me up. But I want to go study this constellation. And aliens have to come from somewhere, right? We have to come from somewhere. Which God clearly says He made us from this earth and blew spirit into our nose. Which, if you study Genesis, we were supposed to live on this earth and eat from the tree of life and live perpetually, live forever. But since we ate from the tree that we were told not to, in a sense, well, we didn't, but Adam and Eve did. That's why I say, in a sense, since they did so, that's why, God kicked us out, so. That's why He gave His Son, so that we may have peace and life through Jesus Christ, eternal life through Jesus Christ. He had to give us a way out. Your spirit's got to go somewhere once you pass away. And that's where the problem only people forget is, you believe in karma, that karma is always going to come back to you. You're coming, all the old lives that the spirits have, they're stuck on this earth, you know what I mean? Your spirit that you have in you, that God has created in you, right? You're always going to be stuck on this earth until you believe in Jesus. When you believe in Jesus, the life that you have now and all the lives before, all that karma, it's canceled, it's debt-free. But you must serve and work in faith for Jesus Christ, because then you find no healing to purify the soul to be in connect with God. You get what I'm saying? In connection with His Spirit. You can't, milk come out my mouth. You can't be in connection and you can't be in connection with God unless you worship Jesus Christ. That's the only connection to Him. Even if you meditate and do all this yoga, you still can't reach that higher consciousness of Jesus Christ, because love surpasses all knowledge, all of it. Even the meditation and that, that feeling, that chemical I talk about, and that higher, you know what I mean? That nothing beats it. You can't, because it's not what you can't see it. It's not you. That love, that ache, that pain, that's not, you know what I mean? That connection you're missing with God. You don't have that connection with God. You don't talk to Him unless you believe in Jesus Christ. That's the only way to talk to Him. You understand what I'm saying? That's the only way He can become your best friend, is if you believe in Jesus Christ and become like His Son, because you're not pure enough to talk to Him. And then when you believe in His Son, it's not, therefore He knows you, you know what I'm saying? But He doesn't see your sins. He sees the sacrifice, the you know what I mean, the sacrificial lamb. He sees the perfect of Christ in your heart. Therefore, He doesn't hold any wrongs against you. And you have to know that and understand that to find healing in here. That's the only way. And then once you do understand that and know that, it hits you, because you realize and you see all the evil and how simple it is for someone to get into a temptation by someone else and do something out of emotion and completely regret it even while they're doing it. That's why it says in here, in Romans, I'm pretty sure it's Romans, he said, why is it that I do the things that I absolutely despise and I hate, but yet I still do them? Even when I don't want to do them. He just said, I hate them. I absolutely despise and hate to do these things, and yet I still do it every day, every single time. We call it addiction. It's called sin. The evil one will use different words and stuff like that to keep you, messed up. It really matters what you say. You're accounted for all of it. Because Jesus said, the reason why I say you're accounted for it is because you're accounting for it for yourself. What comes out of your mouth, right, can heal you or hurt you just as someone else. So if you're constantly saying words, right, that are out of context or meaning or the idea expression of what it truly is that you're saying, it can hurt you and hurt the other person. And here's the other problem as well, is most people are uneducated. So that word, right, that might not be offensive to you might be offensive to someone else. Which, we know a bunch of words, we can start saying words, but, people take different offenses to different words, so you gotta really, just like, here's another thing. I was with Margarita, right? I could say things, and she wouldn't even know what it is I'm saying at all. Or she would say things I would have no idea. So, what do you do then? There's nothing, what do you speak? If I can't understand what she's saying and what she's showing me, right? Or she can't understand what I'm showing her, what do? You rely on physical touch, you rely on emotion, that connection, you see it, you feel it. Just like I feel it now, you know what I mean? You feel that hurt and that pain when you with somebody and you're not with that person, you know what I mean? Physically, spiritually, or not, you know what I mean? Or having them in your life every day. That stuff will mess you up. And God clearly says in the Bible that you must leave your father and your mother, okay, and go find another family member. And that's the problem was with my dad, and I'm sure that's a lot of problems with other people, is they think that they gotta live with their parents. My dad had me thinking that I was supposed to be living with him at my age. Like, what the fuck? I was trying to get away from him. I didn't want to live with him, but I wanted to have closure with him as well because of what he did, you know what I mean? And what happened, you know what I mean, with all these women. And it's frustrating that it's fucked up that he wouldn't accept what he did, first of all, and just fucking, just say, my bad, he wouldn't even say my bad, he wouldn't apologize anything. It was terrible. But he wouldn't talk about it, he wouldn't say anything, he just ignored me, avoided me, he ignored my girlfriend at the time, my fiance. It fucked me up, man. And it hurt. Like, my whole family did it. And then they want to say they're my family? And try to tell me who I am? And if you're dealing with that, listen, don't deal with it. You don't have to. You don't have to deal with that. And if you don't want to deal with it, all you have to do is start speaking Jesus. I promise they'll be out of your life in 2 seconds. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. They'll be, Jesus what? Oh, I don't believe in that religion shit. I don't talk about Jesus. That's all you ever hear about people say. That's the only thing they can say too. They have no idea about anything about life. They probably never had anything. Because they have no faith. That's why they have nothing. They've never chased their dreams. They've never... It's terrible. And people will constantly they will judge you and put you in that place because they want to feel better about themselves because they're possessed by the spirit of evil. They're harnessing the spirit of jealousy, the spirit of envy, which is evil. The Bible clearly tells you it's evil. Which, if you read the Bible and you read Lucifer was the original... He was the original person to stand up against God and say, okay, I don't want to follow you. I want to follow myself. And I want the angels to follow me because I want to be just like God. But God didn't create angels to be like gods. That's the problem. He only created humans to be like gods. Therefore, you have to read the Bible, man. You have to read the Bible. You know, there's angels, there's archangels, there's... I need to take out the trash. I had so many thoughts running through my mind when I said that. Bad ones. Ah, bitch. My fucking foot is trash, dude. Fuck up. I really want to fucking light this, man. I really want to light this. If you light this, if I go put this in my gun and go shoot that bitch will light. What? You got food, baby girl. What? I love you. I love you. She wants attention. Yeah. She wants attention. She's my baby girl. It's my favorite cat, man. I'm telling you. This cat is crazy in love with me. Princess used to sleep between my legs, which actually kind of annoyed me. Surprisingly, you would think that it would annoy me to be up here on my shoulders or like right here, but it doesn't. She stays out of my way. She doesn't... I'm trying to get the crusties out of her nose so she can somewhat feel better. It's gotta suck, you know what I mean? Feeling like that, dude, all the time. Imagine your nose being crusty and runny for fucking... it's going on the 3rd week now. These cats are bad, man. They were all bloated, you know? The infection got down to their stomachs, you know? She was the only one that it didn't make it down to the stomach yet and kill all the organs. But she was the biggest one out of all the babies. So... Well, there's 2 big ones her size. The other one died. I'm sure I'd get my coffee. Yeah, see, she just wanted attention. She's just purring like crazy. So I'm gonna read this chapter real quick. So this is the finish of chapter 13. I don't think we finish it. Yeah, so this is when we, we're reading that. Jesus went to go wash Peter's feet, and he said, "You're not going to wash my feet," and Jesus said, "If I don't wash you can't be part of what I'm doing," Um, and the reason why he was washing his feet too is because it was an act, right? Of purification. So, your feet, all your body, not only do they, people back then, they had a lot of time with themselves, you know what I mean? They didn't have technology and all these other things, they studied ancient texts back then, you know what I mean? That's what they had. It was books, scripture. They didn't even have books. They had those little fucking scrolls and stuff. Um, you gotta remember too, a lot of people, it was hard. People didn't live, if you lived a long time like that, you were very intelligent. Very, very intelligent. Because you gotta remember all the wars and everything else, and if you did live a long time, most likely you were born of upper high class, high society. So if you are living that long, you're born in high society, most likely you're living in a temple or some type of kingdom, castle, or you know what I mean, a family, a rich family, and that's why if you read a lot of the stories, a lot of these people, they have favor. They're slaves and they're orphans, and they end up in these royal families that are controlling the earth, the world population pretty much, and they're getting favor because God is in their life. And the Bible tells all these stories. These stories are fascinating. Um, but the reason why he served his feet too is, it was a symbol. It made a person feel good. When it's an act. It's an act of love when you wash somebody's feet. You know what I mean. You gotta remember, people wore sandals back then and were in the desert. When you came in the house, your feet were dirty. You know what I mean. They were disgusting. They were black. I mean, you walk around on the floor. I'm pretty sure right now, if I pick up my foot, even though I just got out the shower, they're probably not that bad. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. Your foot get black. Your feet get black. So that's also why he washes feet. You know what I mean? When you wash the feet, you wash away that filth. You know what I mean? It was a representation of washing away the filth. That's what he was saying, that he was trying to tell everyone that he was the one, once he sacrificed, God sacrificed himself, right? That when you believe in him, he was trying to tell the disciples that when he dies, when they believe in him, when he comes back with the Spirit, right, which he did at Pentecost, um, the sins would be washed away, right? That hurt, that pain would be washed away. And the only way to do that is to believe in Jesus. But that's why he showed them, he washed their feet, because he was teaching them these things. And people always think that, Jesus sent them out to preach. He didn't send them out to preach, he sent them out to heal. And then what's crazy is they came back and Jesus, one time, Jesus told them, he came back, his disciples came back, and Jesus was acting like he didn't know them. And they were like, "Why are you acting like you don't know us? You know what I mean? We were just healing people in your name. And you said, get away from me, I never knew you. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's scary to think about. It's scary to think about if you really think about it. But we're going to go ahead and read. It says, the one who ate bread at my table. I'm not including all of you in this. I know precisely whom I've selected so as not to interfere with the fulfillment of the scripture. The one who ate bread at my table turned on his heel against me. I'm telling you all this ahead of time so that when it happens, you will believe that I am who I say I am. Make sure you get this right. Receiving someone as son is the same as receiving me, just as receiving me is the same as receiving the one who sent me. After he said these things, Jesus became visibly upset, and then he told them why. One of you is going to betray me. The disciples looked around at one another, wondering who on earth he was talking about. One of the disciples, the ones Jesus loved dearly, was reclining against him, his head on his shoulder. Peter motioned to him to ask who Jesus might be talking about. So being the closest, he said, Master, who? Whispering in his ear, he wanted to know. Jesus was close to Peter. Peter was his right-hand man. That was his homie, his road dog, He says, Jesus said, the one to whom I give this crust of bread after I've dipped it, then he dipped the crust and gave it to Judas, son of Simon the Iscariot. As soon as the bread was in his hand, Satan entered in. It's crazy. Because it was a spirit of envy, you You got to think that Judas not only seen Peter, whispering in Jesus' ear, right, at the table, and it's a big table, he didn't hear what he said, so he's already having a guilty conscience, he's already taking money, stealing money, he's already, been embezzling money, so he's probably, what the fuck are they up to, they're stealing too type shit, he's got all these different things going on, and he also was just put right on the spot. Jesus literally just told him, told Peter, everybody knew now, in the sense that Judas was going to betray him in a sense. But they didn't know right that second, but if Peter knew, Peter had not Peter, but Judas knew he had a guilty conscience, you can imagine him sitting at the table, he felt it. Because you gotta remember, body language is everything, You gotta remember, fucking Peter probably whispered in Jesus' ear, and Jesus probably fucking dipped the bread with that smirk on his face, you know what I mean? And did that gesture towards Judas, you know what I mean? And Judas felt that shit. Judas was paying attention to everything what Jesus was doing. You think he wasn't? He was embezzling money from the church, from all the disciples that they were all sharing. Because that's the whole point of the church, by the way, is so that everyone goes without. Everyone brings everything to the table. They don't keep anything for themselves. Everything comes to the table and then is shared. Cars, houses, everything. That's how it's supposed to be, but no one does that. Because the spirit of evil, right, will get you to think that, okay, they're going to mess things up, or, all types of different things, which I have a safe. I think that way too. You know what I mean? But you got to be cautious of who you have around. That doesn't mean you cannot share. That's why I glorify everything to God. If someone asks me for my car, I'm going to let them drive it. If it's someone I know, you know what I mean? Like, someone I know that is intelligent and respectful, you know what I mean, and knows how to drive a car, I got to be smart with the things that I have. I'm not just going to let some random person without a license drive my car. Someone's stupid. I have to be responsible. Common sense, it's crazy that, Satan entered them, the spirit of envy entered, the spirit of a rat, really, because he didn't snitch on Jesus, you know what I mean? Jesus didn't really do anything wrong, but in Judas' mind, he justified turning in Jesus for money. It says it's crazy. It says right after Satan entered him, "What you must do," said Jesus, do it and get it over with. No one around the supper table knew why he said this to him. Some thought that since Judas was their treasurer, Jesus was telling them to buy what they needed for the feast, or that he could give something to the poor. Judas, the piece of bread, left. It was night. So, you gotta remember that this is a description of what happened. This isn't the actual Bible. It's crazy that he did that, man. He traded him in. He turned him into people that wanted to kill him for nothing. They killed him because they wanted to justify their guilty conscience, make them feel it was okay for what they did, what they were doing, which was preaching the spirit of evil. They were, and the reason why is because they were using God. They were using God for self-interest, for self-righteous reasons. They wanted people to worship them instead of Jesus. Blows my mind. So it says a new command. We'll keep on reading. When he had left, Jesus said, "Now the Son of Man is seen for who he is, and God seen for who he is in him. The moment God is seen in him, God's glory will be on display, and glorifying him. He himself is glorified, glory all around. Children, I am with you only for a short time longer. You are going to look high and low for me, but just as I told the Jews, I'm telling you, where I go, you are not able to come. Let me give you a new command. Love one another in the same way I loved you." It says, my mind does that sometimes. It says, "Love one another in the same way I loved you. You love one another. This is how everyone will recognize that you are my disciples, when they see the love you have for each other." See, sometimes this book messes me up sometimes. I don't like the way it flows. Because it's not, like I said, it's not the exact scripture. I do it for study purposes. I like it. It says, Simon Peter asked, "Master, just where are you going?" Jesus answered, "You can't now follow me where I'm going. You will follow later." "Master," said Peter. See, that's why it would throw me off. This is what I'm saying, in modern day language, right? If I were to say this, I would say, Peter, Master. Anyways, I'm gonna keep on reading. "Why can't I follow now? I'll lay down my life for you." "Really, you'll lay down your life for me?" "The truth is that before the rooster crows, you'll deny me 3 times. Which, if you watch, sorry, I'm having speech impediment problems because I haven't drank coffee too. I'm not there, on it. It's still early. It's 4 in the morning. I'm reading. I just woke up. But no, the way they word this, I would do it differently. For modern people, like an average day English American, person, I would word it a little different. Just make it easier for people to understand, or a way to read it in a sense, the flow. But who knows? I'm more of a computer professor, weather professor, tech professor, car professor, not a fucking. I study language and stuff and numbers. That's what I'm going back to school for, which I got to get down south. I need my coffee. That's what I need. But if you watch a couple of movies, you'll see that fucking he denied Jesus 3 times, man. He basically, Jesus told him that even though Peter was his closest disciple, right? Jesus told him that he was going to betray him 3 times. Peter said, no, I'm not. He did. He didn't betray him in a sense like, like turn him in or anything. He betrayed his love. When they basically came to get Jesus, right, to hang him and stuff, they asked Peter if he knew Jesus. He said no. 3 times. He did it in 3 different situations, 3 different occasions. That's why Jesus told him, do it 3 times before the rooster crows. And what's crazy is the 3rd time he did it, the rooster ended up crowing. When he consciously did it, and then he looked and seen the crow, he seen the rooster crow, it fucked him up bad. It fucked him up really, really bad. He writes of it in all the letters. He writes of it in some of the letters. I mean, not all of them, but he writes about it. I'm pretty sure he writes it. He talks about it, for sure. I'm looking for my cup, man. I don't know where my coffee cup is. Oh, it's in my backpack. Duh. I want my thermos. My good one. I'm over here fucking looking for my thermos. Couldn't figure out what the fuck I did with it. And it hit me. It's in my backpack. I love the Zulu one, man. Because it screws on. That's the whole thing, is it screws on and this lid, it doesn't leak. I can leave it in my backpack, fucking it can be upside down, side to side, all that shit. And all the traveling I do, I'm about to be doing, I gotta have it. Which, I'm about to pull out the interior, I'm about to start ripping out the interior out of my truck today. That guy, I lowered the transmission to 800. I didn't want to, but I lowered my transmission to 800. And the reason why is I already made a lot of fucking money off that truck, man. I have. If I sat on it, I'd get the 1,000 for it, no problem. I'd get the 1,200 for it, but I gotta move it, man. It's gotta go. I gotta get some money together, and I gotta do some stuff, man. I gotta leave. So I only have a certain amount of time to do stuff, and $800 is a little bit of money, man. That's some money right there. That's $200 away from a grand, a note. And I can work with that. I can make something happen with that. You know what I'm saying? So I lowered it, and all I put in the description was the motor and the trans. And I said, motors not for sale, transmission only. $800 cash firm. Someone messaged me, man. I told him he said I'm very interested. He said I would love to see if we can do something. So I messaged him and told him everything, like exactly where the truck comes from, why my uncle sold it, why I'm selling it, and what I'm trying to do. He hasn't read the message yet, which actually makes me happy. It means it's one of those older guys that probably don't know fucking phones or sit at the phone, constantly. He's, a busy man, probably. So, it's also why I'm up early, too. I'm excited. I'm hoping this comes through. It'd be nice, because I gotta see if I get that Blazer down the street. Try to work with it. It's just sitting. I think I can get it. I think I can get a good deal on it. Who knows? I might fucking give it to me for 800. If I can get it for 800 because it don't run, drag it down here and get it running, I can double my money. I can more than double my money if I think about it. I could sell that truck for at least $2,000 or more. I'd ask $2,200 for it. That's what I would put on it, and I would sell it for 18. I'd make a G off of it. That's what I would shoot for. That's after putting work into it, though, cleaning it up. You know what I mean? That's fine because I'm gonna have Bill help me. You know what I mean? That's good money. That's decent money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna cut him. You know, instead of him getting cut off, I'm gonna give him a few bucks, obviously, but I'm buying him a car. I'm helping him with a car, right? He doesn't want the money. He doesn't care about the money, right? And his car is not gonna last long. I'm telling you, that Brougham is not gonna last long. And he has all those other cars, but he doesn't have help, nor does he have anyone that's he can stand being with, talking to long enough to do stuff like that and get stuff done. So that's why I'm gonna help him do it. He needs a car, man. That motor will last forever. The motor he's got in there go forever, and that's what GM's known for. GM makes good motors. They run forever. That's what they're just good at making motors, man. That's what they're known for. That's why everybody puts them in all these cars, all these race cars, all these trucks, man. Because they're cheap too, and they put General Motors. That's why they call it GMC, General Motors, because you know they make General engines for a lot of all their stuff basically is plug and play. They keep their stuff compatible with, you know what I mean, all the models. So it saves on actually a lot of money, research, design, and engineering. Because not only, you have to remember, if you're building an engine, right, and you decide to build another engine for a car, you got to retool the whole factory. It's millions of dollars. You're spending. You gotta basically redesign a whole new motor and everything, and then go through all the problems of all the bullshit. You know what I mean? That you know. Okay, does this work? No, it doesn't work this way. Let's do it